Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, everybody, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Please, everybody, take a seat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Patrick, for that generous introduction and for ensuring that the Kennedy family spirit of public service lives on as strong as ever. Some of the cabinet secretaries who are doing good work day in and day out on behalf of the American people have joined us tonight, so I want to make mention of them. Our outstanding Attorney General, Eric Holder. Our Secretary of Labor, Hilda Solis, who's doing wonderful work. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Kathleen Sebelius. And Secretary of Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano. It's also a testament to Ted Kennedy that so many of his congressional colleagues and friends have come together for this cause, and I want to thank Ted's longtime friend and advisor and our newest member of the United States Senate, Paul Kirk, for his deep commitment to public service. Paul, I hope you remember to add your name to the drawer of the desk to which two Kennedys from Massachusetts carved theirs before you. And to Vicki and all the members of the Kennedy family, Ted and Kara, and obviously Patrick. There are few who are not inspired by the grace and love that all of you have shown throughout a difficult time. Our friend Ted left us less than 2 months ago. In the days that followed, we gathered in Boston to celebrate his life with a joyous Irish wake of sorts at John F. Kennedy Library and with heavy hearts on Mission Hill. We watched as mourners lined the streets of Massachusetts and Washington in the rain to say a final thank you, and as decades worth of his colleagues and staff lined the steps of the Capitol to say a final goodbye. And we smiled as the caucus room in the Russell Building, a room where so much American history was made, was renamed for the three Kennedy brothers who served there. And over those days, there was some small measure of comfort in the fact that millions of Americans were reminded of Ted Kennedy's legacy, and a new generation came to know of it. His legacy as a man who loved his family and loved his country. His legacy as a senator who crafted hundreds of pieces of legislation and helped pass thousands more, all with an incalculable impact on the lives of ordinary Americans. His legacy as a mentor who not only taught so many young senators, including myself, but inspired so many young people and young staffers, some who entered public service because of Teddy, others who, because of him, just plain refused to leave. You know. Tonight, thanks to the efforts of each and every one of you, we're here to consider another legacy, one not yet written, of a man who loved the history and vibrancy of a uniquely American institution and was absolutely determined to keep it alive in our time. There is no greater tribute we could offer him than to make the Edward M. Kennedy Institute for the United States Senate a reality. When Teddy first arrived in the United States Senate, he immersed himself in the issues of the day and the concerns of folks back home, but he also threw himself into the history of the chamber. He studied its philosophical underpinnings. He studied its giants and their careers, the times that influenced its members and how its members influenced the times. He became fluent in procedure and protocol, no matter how obscure, until he could master the Senate as easily as he mastered the oceans. No one made the Senate come alive like he did. He loved its history and its place in our American story. Rarely was he more animated than when he lead you through the living museums that were his office and his hideaway office in the Capitol. They held memories that stood still, even as he refused to. And he could and he would tell you everything there was to know about each artifact, each object that you were seeing. Any of us who've had the privilege to serve in that institution know that it's impossible not to share Teddy's feeling for the history that swirls around us. It's a place where you instinctively pull yourself a little straighter and commit yourself to acting a little nobler. I still remember the first time I pulled open the drawer of my desk and saw the names like Taft and Baker, Simon and Wellstone and Robert F. Kennedy. I thought of the great battles they'd waged and how they still echoed through the Senate chambers. And one can't enter the chamber without thinking of the momentous debates that have occurred within its walls. Questions of war and peace, the tangled bargain between North and South, federal and state, of the origins of slavery and prejudice, of the unfinished battles for civil rights and equality and opportunity. It was where Americans of great eloquence deliberated and discussed the great issues of the age, where Webster and Clay and Calhoun fought and forged compromise, where LBJ stalked the aisles, imposing his will and collecting votes, and where Ted Kennedy raged at injustice like a force of nature, even after a staffer would hand him a note saying, "Sir, you're shouting." At its worst, it could be a place where progress was stymied. There was a time, of course, when there were no desks for women or African Americans or Latino Americans or Asian Americans. There was a time when a senator might have referred to another as a, I like this, noisome, squat, and nameless animal, just to name one instance of the occasional lack of decorum. And we should all be